Welcome. We're here. It is Co-Parenting Confessions, and this is episode 3. And I cannot tell you guys how excited I am because I have two very special people here that you've probably seen me on camera with before, and I'm sure you'll see me on camera with them again. But today, we are talking about co-parenting, and both of these guys are amazing fathers, and we're going to have some fun with this being a father by any means necessary conversation. So today I welcome my BFF, Levorn Love, who you guys all know as Versatile Hands, the amazing chef and barber, business owner, and social light of the Twin Cities. And then we also have Mr. Pierre Douglas, the realtor to the up-and-coming stars, and this amazing comedian who has been recognized by people like Kevin Hart. So we're going to talk today, really get in depth about what it means to be a father by any means necessary, because both of these guys have amazing children that they have been present for. And without further ado, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for being
having us.
here.
Man, this is excited. Such an honor. That was a great intro. That was amazing.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So you guys, I want to talk about what you've been through to be a present father, like the ups and the downs, the funny stuff, the good, the bad. Not that we always know what to do, but what we've done. Mm-hmm. And earlier, Pierre and I had a chance to just talk, and I brought up something to him that I think a lot of women don't think about. So I think this will be a good way to start our conversation. Mm-hmm. What happens in that moment when you realize you're not going to live in the house with your children every day anymore? Like at some point you were living with them or you were in the home regularly. And then that moment when you realize the relationship is over and my kids are not going to be with me every day. And I think a lot of mothers take for granted that dads have emotions about that and what it's like to not wake up with your kids or go to sleep with your kids in the same house. What did that feel like for you guys, or what were your experiences around living with your kids?
So for me, I cried. I literally cried. I thought like the family was over with. Yeah. Period. Like there's no family no more. It's over with. And so I was shook. I couldn't really conceptualize like how am I even a dad now if I'm not in the home with them? Yep. And I dealt with that for some months until I took my kids on our first trip together without mom. And we all went, me and all my 4 kids, we went for my daughter's graduation, and I handled it without her. I was like, oh, wait, no, okay.
Like,
good.
I got this.
I got this. Family's still family. I'm just not in the home anymore.
Yeah.
But even, a couple years removed from that now, not being at home still bothers me, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's those funny moments you miss, those little things that just aren't there anymore that you only get every holiday or every spring break now. So I still deal with that part.
Yeah. That's deep.
Super.
I like it.
Super deep. For me, it's funny that you asked this too, because I was just having this conversation with my daughter this morning. Ooh. Yeah, we were having like a little flashback back when they were younger. Their mom decided to move to Atlanta, so they relocated. Mm-hmm. And I begged her, pleaded with her not to do that. She didn't listen. Obviously, she went. So I cried too. I did cry. I was pretty devastated, and it was always a tough adjustment, but. Yeah. They would come back for holidays, winter break, summer break, and I just, I just took it as this is how it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you just got to deal with it.
I got to deal with it. I got to adjust, and, I talk to him all the time, and I don't know. I think it's a little different for me than it was maybe for Pierre because he was married, and they were already in the home together anyway. We were already doing a co-parenting type thing anyway, so I was somewhat used to him not being there all the time.
Yeah.
But just knowing that I couldn't just have him come over whenever I wanted, or if we want to run and do some dinner or whatever, it was tough. It was real tough. But sometimes, man, you just gotta make the most of your situation.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do?
And from the mother standpoint, and just things that I've heard, I know that a lot of times women want to believe that you guys think like, oh, shoot, I'm finna kick it. Like, yeah. I'm single now, or my kids aren't here. I don't got to deal with that every day. And so I think a lot of women, engage with their children's fathers in that way, with that mindset that, you're lucky. I have to deal with all of this. But many women fight for being the primary caregiver.
What?
but then still have resentment on the other end that you don't have to deal with it every day, all day.
Absolutely.
So
I tell her, like, I didn't choose this. Like, I wanted to be. I'm a family man. This is what I wanted. I didn't choose to be single. I didn't choose to be a holiday dad or a spring break dad. You chose this for me. And that perception was real. Like, you out here taking trips now. You can come and go as you please. You can da-da-da-da-da. Well, you gave me the free time. I can't just sit here. But again, I didn't choose this to be I battle even with like just, I'm not on child support, but I battle with like having to work more to be more present financially now because I'm not there physically now. So I'm like, I didn't, so nah, we didn't want to be out here in these streets like that.
Yep. That I'm glad that you mentioned child support because that was the area where I'm like, a lot of men, they're like, I'm a father by any means necessary, which means a lot of the time that they have to pay to be a dad. Or like the only thing that you bring or that you offer, or it's like I need to drink, or that you offer is money. It's like people forget that there are things that dads do that moms just can't do. Yeah. That the father figure can provide a certain protection and just nurturing in a way, teaching you certain things that your mom may not even innately think about.
Right.
So what has that felt like around, or have you felt like your role as a dad has been perceived as only financial, or that's primarily what you're needed for?
I think personally,
go ahead, P.
I probably tricked myself into thinking that was my only role outside of that union. Like, I'm not present on the day-to-day. So now I have to make up for that financially. It wasn't her. She didn't project it on me.
Yeah.
I put it in my head. But then situations happened where money came up. I was like, all right, well then, I ain't tricking myself.
Yep. Like, yep. Nope.
and even that's hard because now, in the household, I didn't spend nearly that much money on my kids. But now that I'm away, I'm like, I gotta work extra hours. I got 4 jobs. Like, what am I doing here?
Wow.
Like, so it's
you a Jamaican mom.
Yeah, man, I'm a Jamaican, a Mexican, and an African.
All the above.
That's interesting though, because there is a part of you that felt like if I'm not present, then I have to do more.
Yes.
I love that you said too, like I'm providing more financially than I had to when I was in the home. So what would you say to men who act like their child support amount that they've been, ordered to pay is too much? Like, that's not needed to raise these children. Like, it doesn't cost that much. When you're, on the other hand, saying, like, I feel like because I'm not present, I should do more.
Right. So it's so case by case. Because, if your kid is up the street, you have access to go get this child. Yep. So that dollar amount shouldn't be so high. Because that time can be divided.
Yeah, okay.
For me, I'm across the country with it, so I can't get every weekend. I can't do these things. My dollar amount's not high.
Yeah.
But it's like, for me, because like the time is imbalanced, so I feel like I have to be higher on that side. Yep. So those who pay all that money, if you got time to go get them, bro, go get them kids so you can less that dollar amount. But yeah, I guess because my time balance is different, I perceive that I got to give more money.
Yeah. I feel my BFF's energy over here.
I'm just listening.
Let's kick in on the child support, man. Tell us what you're thinking.
I have a different perspective. Man, so this started at a young age too, I was a teen parent trying to figure it out. Yep. She instantly threw me on child support. Instantly. And I didn't know what was going on. I felt blindsided, but I gotta do it, so I'm paying it. We talking like this the 90s. I'm paying like $1,200 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, $1,200 a month.
Wow.
And at one point, I'm like, okay, let's work this out. We got these kids. We're a family. Let's get together. So we moved together. She was still getting child support. And we was under the same roof with each other. And she would not turn it off. She's like, she just refused. So I called my worker multiple times. They're like, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. So it was tough. And I just, I felt like my back was against the wall. I got to do it. I'm obligated. So fast forward, again, talking to my daughter today. There's a time where they're coming back for Christmas. It's their first Christmas back to Minnesota when they moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I had just started cutting hair. I'm like, I'm not working no more jobs. where I get a check. I'm working for cash. Y'all ain't gonna keep taking my money. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I need some control of this.
Yes.
Like, 'cause I'm feeling like very helpless.
Yeah.
Very helpless. So I don't know what P talking about, but I didn't want to pay more. I want to pay less. So this particular Christmas, I started cutting hair. I got this money saved up. The kids are like, "Oh, Dad, I want an iPod. I want a Nintendo DS." This is early 2000s. So I'm like, okay, I feel good. I'm gonna get them what they want for the first time forever. I got the money to do it. I got them everything they wanted. Mm-hmm. Their mom calls me from Atlanta. Mind you, I'm still paying child support whenever they come visit too. Yeah. So this is totally outside of that.
Yeah.
And she's crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She's like, I can't believe you would get those type of gifts. Why would you do that? Like, what do you mean? Like, that's what they want for Christmas. That's what they asked for. That makes me look bad as a mother.
Oh.
For you to shower them with these expensive gifts, and I got to take on this responsibility every day. I get them stuff every day, and this and that. I'm like, I just want to get them what they wanted for Christmas.
Right.
Like,
so you can't win for losing.
Not at all.
That's wild.
Then the icing on the cake, I'm so perplexed. I'm talking to my daughter. This is back then. Yes. So she's probably like 10 or 11 at the time. I mean, your mom's tripping. She said, yada, 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 and she's mad because I got y'all what y'all asked for. And she said, well, she's right. I mean, she does take care of us every day. Why would you do that? I'm like, you asked for it.
Right.
Man, I ain't bought them nothing for Christmas since then.
like you upstaged her. This is, and I love that you brought that up because in the space where I work, and within my business, we have a supervised visitation program.
Sure.
And a lot of places that offer supervised visitation do not allow the parent that's visiting to buy gifts and bring gifts, right? But at the Price Dynamic, we're like, no. We believe that that's a part of you parenting, and we don't see things like clothes, shoes, hats, gloves, all that kind of stuff as a gift. Right. Those are essentials, right? School supplies, all of that stuff. But we have seen so many mothers that when they come to pick their kids up, look at all of the gifts or the essentials that their parent has bought and refuse it. In front of the kids. I will never forget that there was a dad who bought a bike for his son. And we went downstairs to wheel that bike out and she would not take it.
Wow.
In front of that baby and was just like, nope, you can't have it.
Why?
And called back because she said, I can't afford that. We had another little boy. He asked his dad the week before for some Jordans for school. Dad bought 2 pair.
Okay.
Mom didn't want them.
Wow.
Because she said it's not fair to start this when I can't keep it up. That was her thought.
That's an interesting perspective.
It was a very interesting perspective because I had never thought of that. It wasn't like she was, being a hater. She was kind of like, if this is the trend that we're going to set, and then if you all of a sudden aren't here anymore, now you've introduced this to him and I can't do it. And so it's so deep to think about, like the perspective or just, how each parent might feel.
I would have never thought everything.
That. Ain't it? Right. Yeah. I was like,
what? I
just feel like as long as the kids get what they want or deserve or whatever, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. But I don't think it's my job to worry about what you think about it either.
That's another good point.
You ain't worry about what I'm going through when I got to deal with and figure out what I'm doing. So
so
like
that part
we're not together. So we're co-parenting. So I got to figure out how it works on my side and during my experiences and my interactions with them, and you got to do that in your end. So I don't know. I don't owe you that. It's not my job. It's not my job to make you feel okay or feel at peace or whatever.
That's so good. It's not my job to make you feel okay. Like it's not. And this is where I feel like I have an affinity to fathers because I feel like you guys are like the lone soldier out there sometimes. like your emotions don't really get communicated or how you might struggle or what obstacles may be in your way. It's like we just expect you to pull up your bootstraps, be the tough guy and deal with it and not considering, what you're experiencing so.
I personally chose recently to not be that dad though. Like you're not going to just limit or like only limit me to being the money dad or this dad. Like you're gonna everybody's finna feel how I feel. If I feel bad, y'all gonna feel it. Because
give us an example of that. What do you mean? Like, so if you're feeling bad and they feel it, what would the situation be?
Like, I'll FaceTime every kid I have and be like, hey, you ain't called or text me and told me you love me. And I text you every morning to tell you guys this. I am here. From 21 down to 11, text me, fam.
Yep.
My kid's mom, you want to fuss about money? Hey, listen, I ain't sold the house in 3 months. You know what my profession is.
Yep.
Settle down. You're going to feel how I feel. It's tight on me. It's going to be tight on you too.
Yeah.
You chose this.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not going to
chose this.
I'm not about to figure out or make major adjustments because of what. Nah, heck
yeah.
Because I was so stressed out for so many, for however long it was. Like I had headaches. I was stressed out. Blood pressure high. Trying to be the dad that I want, that they, you know what I mean? Like, nope.
That you wanted them to perceive you as or feel. And then it was putting a lot of pressure and stress on you.
Yeah.
The thing that you said that I love, and I would love to hear you guys touch on this, is when you feel like, and this is so real to being a father by any means necessary, it's even more thankless, I think, at times than being a mom. Moms will verbalize, this is a thankless job. You do all of this work, you sacrifice yourself, you're cooking, you're cleaning, and no one says thank you. But you guys are expected to do a lot and you don't get phone calls sometimes. I remember seeing on social media for years and years and years, my BFF being like, it's Father's Day. And I don't know that I've gotten a text or a phone call today or a card. Right. And so, like, we sometimes just forget that those things are important for dads.
Absolutely.
And how that feels when you're like, I'm expected to show up and be this provider. Yeah. But it's not, the love isn't always reciprocated.
Not at all. I think I got my first, I can't remember if it was Father's Day or Christmas, but it was one of the two, probably like 2 years ago. And my kids are old, like 30, 28, and 25. And my oldest daughter, who was probably the most responsible out of all of them, she finally got me some AirPods.
Wow.
That's my first time ever getting anything for my kids. Like a card, a present, nothing. Like, but I'm not mad. Like, y'all kids. Like, I don't,
But don't see, you gotta be mad.
Because Pierre's like, you're going to feel how I feel.
That's real. Yeah. You're right.
Like, you probably were mad in the moment. You're a little salty. Like, I probably sad a little bit.
I probably was way back when, but at the time when I was feeling some kind of way, they were legit children. So I feel like if the other parent isn't making them be that way, then I'm not going to hold it against them. And then eventually you just end up growing up the way you grow up. You don't know. You just used to getting what you get, and that's not my job to give my dad nothing or acknowledge my dad or whatever. So I didn't hold a grudge against him. But when it happened, it definitely, I felt it.
Yeah.
Like, man, that was dope. Like, I had to like go in another room for a little minute. That was real nice. But we've also gotten so much closer since they become adults. And she's, they've said it out themselves, like, Dad, you're different than how Mom said you were.
Yeah.
Or
I love that.
Yeah, like, we're
we just
go with what we were, I don't want to see what she told them, but
you could absolutely see it in your relationship with them as well, like as adults, how they, they have like an actual friendship with you too.
It's like a friendship,
right? It's like I want to enjoy fun with my dad, and they're intentional about it. Like, I'm gonna go hang with my dad. I'm showing up with my dad. No question. That's dope. I love that.
Yeah, she came up here on my birthday. She'll fly up here.
Yeah.
On a whim.
Yeah.
She works at the airport too, so she'll come up here for a party, go right back home, or we're doing some kind of function. She'll come and kick it, and go right back, and she's cool. My youngest one, so she's cool too. She just, she's the youngest. Yeah. So we working on that still. And Latrell, who's the oldest, who I have the most hands-on with, like, he moved in with me, I think, at like 11 years old. And from that point on, he like lived with me full time. So I was super, like, just like entrenched in him.
Yeah.
You're gonna do good in school. You're gonna get a scholarship. You're gonna be successful. All this other stuff. So he's doing okay. He's doing pretty good. He's getting there. Still trying to figure it out. But I would think we would be closer, especially since we're guys. But it's not like that right now. Like he be over here doing whatever he's doing, and gotta like twist his arm to come out and do something. But it's okay. I really don't care.
Yeah,
you care, bro. Stop saying
I don't like.
He cared. You care.
You know why? You know why I care, but I don't care because I had to be a father by any means necessary, and so I couldn't get the emotions overly tied up and feel like what was me. I just gotta get through this. Now it's like it's work. Like
it's true.
No one's gonna care how I feel at the end of the day. Like I gotta take care of you.
But that's not fair.
It's not fair, but it's just reality. It's my reality.
Yeah.
I don't know if And maybe it's my reality because of how I dealt with it. I don't know, but that's how I really honestly felt. So to make sure I don't get like too bent out of shape or stressing or whatever, I'm just like tunnel vision. Like, okay, I gotta work, I gotta pay this, I gotta take care of this, I gotta make sure you're good, I gotta make sure y'all here every summer, winter break. It's like it was a system, and a lot of emotion got removed from it because of that. I feel, it was almost like it's just my duty, you know. I just gotta do what I gotta do. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask for it to be like how it is, So,
What did the role of your own upbringing and you having your father there or not having your father there?
For me?
Both of you. Like, what did that have to do with how you show up as a dad or not? Like, did it play any part in how you are as a father?
I think for me, my dad not being there, like being around but not being there, made me want to be a better dad. Yeah, for sure. But I also didn't have, because I think my mom did such an amazing job of taking care of us by herself. I never had that feeling like, oh, I didn't have no dad in my life, or my life it'd be better if dad was around. I never felt that way. I'm like, my life's cool. Like I like how my stuff was. So I didn't know how valuable that was or not, because I didn't have that. And I felt like my life was great as a kid growing up without a dad. So, but I also knew that I didn't want to be like that either. Yeah. So that's, that's all I can say about that. But stuff gonna be how it's gonna be regardless.
P, how did it happen for you? What was your situation?
My dad's situation is similar to Love's, as whereas I knew my dad. Yeah. I am everything my dad is. Yeah. My sense of humor, my love for music, gospel quartet, everything that's Pierre is Calvin Harrington. Right. Okay. And as a child up until 5, he was very present. We moved to Minnesota. That changed. Moved back to Chicago, as present as he could be, but it was a little different. And so I blamed him as a child because I didn't know what was going on, right? And so, but I told myself as I became a dad, I will be everything that he wasn't to me. Yeah, everything. So I'm 18, first child, or however old I was. I ain't going nowhere. Out of high school, we get an apartment. This is what it's gonna be. I am present from 18 until today, or whatever it is, right? And it was tough because, like, I remember I had a conversation with my mom. My dad's a musician. I played drums. And I was crying like, man, all I want to do one day is have a jam session with my dad and play the drums, and he played the guitar, and I'm crying. I'm like, oh, that was weird. And I was like, there's like, and I'm a teenager, like, I'm 16 crying, like, man, I just want to play the drums with my daddy, man. Wow. And he played the guitar.
I love that. Like, you can see it.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny now, but
it wasn't funny then.
But it was crying.
It was a real
tears.
Wow.
Feeling, a real desire. Yeah. Like there was a dream of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so growing into a dad and a young man, just trying to figure it out, like, I'll never leave my kids in that fashion.
You know what I think about too, now that I'm an adult, right? I understand why dads leave. I understand why a lot of men are not present. If you just keep it 100% real with yourself, now that you're grown and you realize dynamics of relationships and how shit goes bad, and how women can make it difficult for a man to just feel like, I might be down on my luck, but I just want to hug my kids today. And put up that barrier or those boundaries of, like, you can't do this because you can't afford it, or whatever the case may be. I don't like you today. You're messing with this new woman and you can't come over here, whatever. Right? And how the relationship gets in the way of your ability to parent. I understand now why a lot of men weren't present. Yeah. Even though it's not right, you get it.
The relationship gets in the way of your ability to parent. You nailed it right there, for sure.
And some women make it really fucking hard. Like, I don't want to feel that anger. I don't want to feel this energy, that vibe, in order to see the kids. Like, I want to do right by what you're saying, but I'm scared of you right now. Or like, I just don't want to deal with what you're bringing. Right. Have you ever felt that? Like, I need to stay a distance because I just can't, I don't know how to navigate her and how she's feeling?
The mom?
Yeah.
Go ahead, P.
I've had that feeling of like, all right, I cannot be a dad right now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of her.
Yeah.
But because of what life gave me to not have to see my kids. I gotta go to the airport. I gotta go to TSC. I gotta go to TSA. I gotta go to the plane. I gotta go to take my shoes off every time to go see my kids now. And I'm doing. And at one point I was doing this multiple times a week.
Yes.
Right? I'm like, this is a lot to just see my kids, and it costs a lot of money. And so at that point I was like, and then on top of that, still have to pay.
Yep.
I'm like, you know what? I'll go make some new kids in Minnesota. Like,
y'all laughing. That's real.
But it's real. Like back in the day, you know how many dads would say, I'm just gonna create a new family.
Start a new family.
My dad got like 17 kids, man. Like for real. That
17.
That's what dads did back in the day. Like, just go to the next house, and the next girl got something. You go over here. Like, and I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not gonna
right. But I mean, but if we're real, like we know that a lot of people, we know that that's what their life was.
Yeah. I mean,
but she didn't make me feel that way. Like she didn't. Take us out of it as parents. I wasn't angry with her as parents. It was all she and I relationship stuff. Like, I hate you
directly.
You can fall off a bridge. Like there was that. Yes. So parenting, you know, I won't. She didn't make it too difficult in that space. Yeah. Aside from money.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
I think most of the times the issues aren't really the kids for real. It really is between the two people. The kids is usually end up being a tool in that. But a lot of times, even from the other side, like the dad won't be present in the kid's life because he's mad because he can't be with the mom. Or you don't want to mess with me no more or something. Forget them kids then. Like it ain't about the kids all the time for real. You know, but
that's so real.
People need to be more focused on what at the end of the day what matters the most. And you know, if that's where we're at, that's all that does matter is the kids. Man.
Not necessarily.
You don't think so?
That vagina matters.
Oh my goodness.
That's why they like, I go make it. No.
But I'm saying, like, if you really trying to be with me, I really trying to be with you, but we have kids. Yeah. How I feel about you personally and vice versa really shouldn't matter.
But it takes such a long time to get to that point. It takes so long to get to that point.
Yeah, I think a lot of that gets intertwined.
Ooh. I love that you brought that up. Yes. Uh-huh. Before we're out of here, we have to talk about this.
What part?
Men using their dick as currency.
Oh my goodness.
As currency?
As currency.
Expound.
There are a lot of men that, and I see this daily in my work, where they will feel like, I have to go spend the night. I got to lay up in order to see my kids. I got to pretend to want to still be with her.
Just to see the kids?
To be in my kids' lives. To stay off of child support. Or to, be, in a safe place with her. So I got to go put it down a couple times here and there. And then what happens when he gets into a new relationship or somebody else is around and you're still trying to do that, then there's tensions and all, you know what I mean? But let's talk about that. I think that some men feel like if I go and sleep with you, or keep this, 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of a thing, then I'm safe, or I can keep my relationship with my kids, or I can stay off of child support.
So it wasn't sex for me. We were just, whatever, I ain't gonna go down that road. But it wasn't sex that made me, I felt like I had to be extra nice though. Yeah. Just to keep the relationship, keep the peace. So whatever, like we all going to dinner, oh, you come on too. I'm buying, we at the mall, oh, come on, you want some too? So I did that a whole lot to feel like I had to just make her happy to appease her just to keep the peace across the board. So it wasn't sex, but I definitely did
do things to cater toward her emotion. Yeah,
I had my own currency in that space.
I definitely did some of that as well. Not just because I was so, like, she had such a advantage, like if she gets mad, she'll take them away. She's shown me this already. So it's like, what you say, whatever you do, keep the peace. Okay, if you're okay, whatever you want to do. Like, I definitely bowed out a lot with a lot of things just so I can maintain what I thought I had. So it was never a sex thing at all. Place. It was never like that. Like not with neither one of my kids' lives. Yeah, I mean.
But have you guys heard that, or like be around people that you like? Yeah, he's still.
I've heard that before with just guys messing with girls.
Yeah.
Not their children's mother. Like,
I think they're afraid to say it.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're afraid to say that that's what I'm doing. I really don't want to be with her. I'm over it.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
That might be very hidden.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
You're not messing with this girl just for the kids. Like, you want to mess with her.
You still want to.
Yeah, you want to mess with her.
Yeah.
You want something connection-wise with her still.
You will be so surprised.
Really?
Women do that? Like, they hold the kids over their head for sex?
What?
That's crazy.
That don't even sound realistic to me.
That's crazy.
You know, I have heard stories, and this is from older women, where they will say, I had no relationship with my dad. I barely knew my dad, but he used to come spend the night. My mom wouldn't even let us see him. We would know he was in the house, but he would come spend the night with her. What is that about? Right?
And he had no dealings with the kids?
Right.
My dad did that before when I was younger. I think that was more of just, I think that was more of him trying to mark his territory or make sure ain't nobody else over here.
It could be.
Yeah.
But from women, it could be more of, if I allow that, maybe he'll come back. If I leave the door open.
Yeah.
If I'm available when when there is a booty call, then if I play that role, maybe he'll come back.
I just can't imagine being for sex though, not for sex though.
But then when you say it like that,
yeah,
versus like,
just
give me the dick, nigga.
Yeah.
Versus,
but there are some.
But like, if you're trying to like, you're keeping that window open just to try to bring the family back. That could
family.
Be.
I could definitely see that
because again, this is before I got a girlfriend.
Yep.
Like we did
make that clear.
We did mess around and that was open outside. Like, we're done, but so maybe.
Yeah. Where
do you feel like she was dangling that over you? Like,
she wasn't dangling, but it was available.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's a safety, around like or familiarity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I might not even want you. I feel like women, like once the woman ends it, like they really just made that decision.
Right.
But I might be doing some other stuff over here. I'm not feeling this new guys like that, but I know you. I know what to expect. I know how you make me feel.
Yeah.
So I will go back and forth with you.
Yeah.
But then when it goes back out, once that's over, I still want to live my life and move the way I want to move.
Yeah.
Whereas I think guys are more like, let's make it work, or
really.
Yeah,
I was crying so hard.
What?
You don't believe me. But I will say, in that space, I know how to play. I know how to play. I could be a little petty, and so when we were done, I was like, I'm gonna be extra dad to make her feel like you want this family back. I took Christmas photos. I took family photos. I took multiple family trips. I let her know what's happening, but you can't come. But you want to be here, but you can't come.
That's what you're missing.
That's what you're missing. I was like, this is what you're missing. God, I'm in the pictures and smiling so hard, like,
Dad of the year.
I did play that game, like.
But see, again, this is more about her.
Yeah.
It's not really even about, I'm using me as a dad and our kids. Of course you do. But I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to shit on you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. I think that'd be more the
energy or
more so than anything.
the vibe of like
a lot of times. I do feel that way.
I can say a lot of young men that come through our organization will share that they're still going over and sleeping with their kids' moms in order to stay off of child support, in order to get a restraining order, lifted. So like they're still going over and there's a active restraining order against them.
That's wild.
I see that often.
I can see that.
Yep. So they're like coming to the organization because they cannot exchange their children with the mom because of there being a restraining order or a harassment order. But mom is still calling.
Yep.
We'll be in a coaching session. She's still texting them. She's still calling them.
She's going against the restraining order that's in her favor.
Yes. And saying like, are you coming over? Are you going to spend the night? So it is for them a lot about, I want you in relationship with me and not caring. And not caring as much about what I'm doing to you to keep you away from your children. So if you're not acting like you want to be with me, because this is the other thing, as soon as they get a new girlfriend, then
oh, it's a problem. Everything's a problem.
No, yeah.
Everything's a problem at that point.
That was a fear of mine too. Like, if I move on, will it turn up a little bit? Like, because life has happened and what you thought was going to work didn't work.
Yes.
But now I'm moving on. I know, because I'm a fantastic guy, it's going to work. Okay. And I'm going to be even better to this person than I was to you, because I'm going to learn and you hurt me. So how you going to feel? And so I like, all right, I'm moving on. I was so quiet about it. Like, you better not post me, girl. better post me because I don't want to. And I remember I took my current girlfriend to Paris.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I called hell. You ain't never took me nowhere. You left at the wrong time,
man.
So in that
Jump
space,
quick.
you feel like I gotta play these games to keep the man. I'm sorry, little dude. Y'all got to go through that.
See.
Yeah.
By any means necessary,
any means
right?
necessary.
It's like, and we're not talking about the fact that men are doing a lot of things in order to stay in their children's lives, rather than we're hearing it more or less like, oh, you're a single mother and you've got so much on you and you're, taking it all like a champ, and dad's over there kicking it.
Is that
going to Paris and stuff.
Going to Paris, you ever having a good time? Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
It don't be sweet. It don't be sweet all the time. It can't. I mean, that's nice. Paris
and
nice.
I love that you are saying to the fact that, even though the moms take on the majority of the role, again, it wasn't that wasn't the plan. It wasn't the so you can't be mad at me because the plan didn't unfold, and we adjusted the best way we could. So send the kids to me if you want to, fine.
Yeah.
But other than that, this is what comes with the decisions that you make.
Absolutely.
You have to take them to the doctor. You have to do these things when it's your time, whatever.
And you get the benefits of that. Like, you get to make the decisions. You get the tax returns.
You get the tax money.
That's a whole episode is taxes.
You get the tax money. You're getting child support. So you're getting all this money every month. That don't even count. That don't even affect you. Like, that's just like untaxed income for you. You're getting all the stuff. You get all the power. So you signed up for that. You made a decision. Now there's some things that come along with that you might not necessarily like or agree with. I feel like that's your decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't gonna be all exactly the way you want it to be for you. That's not realistic. So, people make their decision. You made your choice. You gotta accept it. You made that big. You gotta lie in it. So,
what's the biggest support that you've had? Who and how did it show up? Like supporting you to be a father, to be present in your journey of by any means necessary. Where was your source of support?
I guess my mom for me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, man. My mom. She never sugarcoated it.
Yep.
She's just like, this where you at now. So I gotta do this or now you did that. They're gonna start being this way. And she never missed. She's always spot on. You need to go buy you a house now. I'm 19. You need to go buy a house because you about to be so messed up. They finna start taking all your money. At least if you got a house, you have something to write off. Like, okay, like whatever. Buy a house at 21. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. She was right.
Yeah. She
was right, man. I was so messed up, like financially.
Yeah.
I owe so many taxes. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Just claiming 13 all year long. Exempt. Just to have enough money to pay the bills.
Right.
Like
to make it.
Barely. Like for real. Like I'm talking about.
And getting shitted on when you making it look good though. Like when you're still living and having a good time with what you're dealing with.
Struggle.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like
you can't make it look sexy.
I can't even, man. I think I foreclosed, kicked out your own house, locks changed. I'm out the house for like a week.
Wow.
I'm at my mom give me money, stay in a hotel. Man, it's crazy. Some of the stuff.
Any means necessary.
Gotta make it happen. And I'm like, no matter what, it ain't the kids' fault. Like they don't need to know what's going on. Yeah. They don't need to feel it. So we say we're going out to eat. I'm gonna still take out to eat or whatever. Are we gonna go to the park? We still gonna do that or whatever. Yeah. Whole time figuring out I ain't got no lights at the house.
Yeah.
Man.
I ain't got no lights.
Bruh. Man.
Like it's deep.
I went so long with no, what was it? I had lights, so I didn't have no gas. But it happened in like the summer.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big of a deal. But it started getting cold. I had no heat.
Tight on you.
What? The space heater. I'm in all I have is my bedroom.
Yeah.
Close the door. Man, I'm like, I gotta hear me and figure out something. Cause now it's the cold weather time of year. Pipes freezing. Man, I think I don't even know how I got out of that one. I think my mom pulled some miracle.
Helped you.
Yeah, but yeah, she's definitely a big supporter the whole time. If there's ever a thing where I needed to work my other job, she watched them or, anything. So not even close.
Yeah.
I can't even,
Mama.
Mom, whole time.
That's it.
Whole time.
I love it.
Yeah, P. What about you?
Man, I gotta share a story now.
Okay.
Because
the
lights off and you just like, man, Lord, why am I going through this? I remember Christmas Eve. I had finally got we broken up. I got my apartment in Georgia. I had an apartment here too, but I'm going back to Georgia with the kids. I get there, and Christmas Eve, day before Christmas, my entire apartment is flooded. Flooded. I get there, flooded. The next door pipe burst, leaked into mine, and I'm like, I just like, God, why am I going through that? I was hot.
Yes.
I'm ready to get there. Now, me and my kids, we all just in this one part of the apartment because I can't get a hotel. I'm like, I ain't got, it's tight right now.
Yeah.
And so we just like in this one dry part of the apartment.
This one dry part.
I was hot. I was so hot. So those struggle moments, you like, why am I even going through this?
Yeah.
Why am I even going through this?
Yeah.
I'm paying 2 rents, all this stupid stuff.
Right.
What?
But in this season, that I was of this part, I would say more so my friends who were going through with me, because we're all dads, we're all coming out of marriage, and we're all trying to figure it out together. And so we were just always just encouraging each other, uplifting each other.
Yeah.
That was and my sister too, but more so my guys was like, man, you got this, bro. And
that's great.
That was really
right?
important.
That's great.
I thank you so much for sharing that, because just breaking and busting a myth right there that men show up for each other.
That's a fact.
You can vent, you can get support.
Yeah.
Because a lot of men do hold their emotions in, the feelings that they're going through in, and don't, really communicate what's going on with them because they feel like they have to be strong and tough. So it's okay to talk. Yeah. It's okay to share, because your homeboy's probably been through.
I love talking.
Everything you
get that stuff out.
Experiencing.
Yeah, get it out. You need that.
I done said at the love shop with bringing my son to get a haircut, and I would just tell him my whole. He'd be like, "For real, Pete? Really?" For real? And I was telling you, when we went to Cancun, we're all 3 going through, and we're just in Mexico having a good time, but crying our hearts out like, God, how do we fix this? We're all going through the same thing, bro. We're just figuring it out together. So I believe in brotherhood for sure, and just helping get through hard times and things like that.
I'm glad that he had that.
Yep.
I didn't have that because I had my kids way before all my friends.
Yes.
Way before. Like some of them is just starting to have kids now. All old. Y'all tripping. But so it was like, you can't feel my pain.
Yeah.
Y'all can't relate. Y'all ain't got no kids. Y'all live at home. Everything's sweet.
Right.
Y'all go to the club every night, blow your check every week, come right back, do it again. Like, man, I'm really trying to figure some stuff out here. So I didn't have a lot of outlets, as far as peers were concerned.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And yeah, man, it was just like kind of like sink or swim almost. Like,
wow.
You better figure out something real fast, or it's gonna get real ugly.
Yep.
And to hear that is great.
Yes.
I would try, and they would try. I think they would try too. But it's
like you don't know what I'm going through.
But then at a younger age, we had that man tighten up mentality. Like, man, tighten up.
I'm that guy though.
Huh?
I'm that guy.
Tighten up guy?
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy for everybody else who's man, quit crying, man. Get over it. Like, it'll be all right. It ain't that bad. But I'm like, man, I need something right now.
Man.
But I can't get that right now, because it wasn't fair to them to even expect them to be there for me, because they just weren't at that point in life yet. We're young. Like, I had all 3 of my kids by the time I was 21.
Dang, that's a real realization. But okay, this is the other thing though. 3 children by the time you were 21. Pierre, you were how old when you got married?
24. Yeah.
Right. So still, still family. Yeah. Really, really young. And I think I was 21 when I found out I was pregnant. So I had my son at 22.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like what?
We're babies still.
We're tripping.
Jumped in like
he's married.
Yeah, he was married.
I just got married.
So I had 2 years. 3 kids. So I had 3 kids. Yeah. So by my youngest one was a flower. Well, I put her out the way and she was trash. But so I had all 3 of my kids were at my wedding, and then Jaden came. So yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Deep. Okay, last question before we go. Do you feel like the women in your lives, mothers in particular, have ever spared your feelings? So if you were going through some things, the struggle moments, did they ever like look out for you, make you feel like I have some compassion? There is some,
The children's mother?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
So we have a really good co-parenting relationship.
Awesome.
Now. We have those moments where he's like, don't text me, don't call me, shut up talking to me.
Yeah.
But overall, it's working out.
Awesome.
I won't complain. It can be a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I don't even have space to complain. So she hasn't made it hard on me for the most part.
Yeah. So she does spare.
Yeah.
You.
I feel
and Levorn was like, "What? The children's mothers?"
No, I give Val some credit. Latrell's mom, she went to court one time, and it was some man took my barber's license, driver's license. I can't get no passport, all this stuff because of back support and stuff. So every once in a while, you gotta go back and do your order over again.
Yeah.
You get your stuff reinstated. So she went with me. The girl's mom was in Atlanta, so she's on a conference call. And she's just saying all this horrible things or whatever. And Val spoke up. She's like, no, he's not like that. He's a great dad. He's a great dad to our son, his daughters. He's a great dad to my daughter. That's not even his daughter. And I know we've been having him pay all this money, but he don't owe all this for real. And she got rid of all the back support that I owed her.
Yes.
All of it.
That's dope.
I was so choked up.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, we always been cool, but she just gets my nerves. Like, as a mom.
Yeah.
She makes, but she's young too. She's younger than me,
she was
so
young. Yeah.
she didn't know no better, but she just didn't make the best decisions, but we got a decent relationship.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. I feel like the damage was already done, so it didn't matter. But, and as far as the girl's mom, she lowered the order one time. Like, instead of giving me $800 a month, you can give me $500. Like, I said, I pay you. They grown. So she's like, why did you a favor? I'm like, I guess, that was a nice gesture, but why'd you do what Val did? Just get rid of it. Like, they're grown now.
Right.
They're grown. So she said, I would rather die with you owing me than me get rid of any of that money that you owe me.
Dang.
I would rather die with you owing me.
And you're quoting her, I know.
These are word for word.
Yes.
Than me removing a penny of what you owe me.
On a t-shirt or something.
I was like, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Pierre's like, that could
So,
go on a t-shirt.
She's a very,
Yeah.
strong-minded individual. So she meant every word of that.
Yes.
And I know it. And she's sticking to it to this day. And that's cool. But, I just think everything's come full circle.
Yeah.
This wasn't your question, but so what I'm saying is probably anyway. All that sacrifice, all that struggle, all that, it hardened you. It made you, it built up, perseverance and stuff. So fast forward to now, I think I'm a better man because of all this.
I love it.
Yeah. I think that it helped me have a better understanding of this life and, what's important and what's not, and being responsible and never, like, if you have goals and dreams, nothing's far-fetched. You can do it. It might be some stumbling along the way, but it's reality.
Yep.
So now, current speaking, like the way life is for me now, all that stuff is my reality.
Yeah.
And all the other bad things what I perceive as bad, that's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
So it still served a purpose. It sucked or whatever, but I probably wouldn't be able to be how I am now if it wasn't for me going through all that right there. So
that's it. I cannot think of a better note to end our show on today than to say that amazing takeaway that the adversity of being a father by any means necessary builds character, it builds strength. Both of these men have taken these obstacles and turned them into businesses. The grit, the tenacity that they have, and the way that they've shown up and be fathers makes them great businessmen, right? It makes them wonderful in the roles that they have now in their lives. And so it is absolutely worth it to stick in there, to stay, to be a father by any means necessary, and know that being a father means that you are building up transferable skills that can lead you to being an amazing realtor, an amazing business owner, barber extraordinaire, comedian. These men are doing all of these amazing things in their community and being great supports to their children. So it's not over. It's not over. Co-parenting confessions. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. We will have to have you back. This was great. This is so great.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
By any means necessary. That was great.
MBC. No relation to NBC.